Hi Chakits, I have been following you and watching your YouTube channel for years.
I have decided to finally relocate to Las Vegas and want to start a new chapter in my life. I know you're the perfect realtor to help guide me to find my next dream home. I am looking for a modern kitchen, large backyard with a pool and a golf course community.
My name is Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, a licensed real estate agent out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I help buyers like this all the time, so if you're looking for a licensed professional, give us a call at 702-319-1092 or visit lvhomeexperts.com. Buying a home starts here. Is your credit score holding you back from purchasing a home? GC Credit Coaches is a repair company that's made easy. Their goal is to challenge and remove all negative errors that hurt your credit score. On average, GC clients see about 10.2 negative items removed over 4 months. Start improving your credit score today with a simple 2-minute online enrollment for a free consultation and a complete credit audit. GC Credit Coaches offers competitive monthly pricing, no contracts, no hidden fees, and the service stops once you are satisfied. GC Credit Coaches removes inquiries, collections, charge-off bankruptcies, and repossessions. Don't forget to visit gccreditcoaches.com. Action. All right, guys, welcome back to the LV Home Experts podcast. This is where we talk about real estate, financing, and what's going on here in the Las Vegas market every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm bringing back my guest, Jay. What's going on, Jay?
How we doing? I'm happy to be back. Thanks for having me.
It's been, how long has it been?
It's got to be over a year by now.
That long?
Yeah, definitely over a year.
You know what's crazy? After you hit about like 40 years old, things just kind of move a lot faster than
just a blur.
normal. It's just like, I remember like it was just 2023. Now we're like, dude, this whole year went by fast. Now we're into 2024.
Yep.
Now we're almost finishing, we're halfway through the first quarter, which is kind of crazy for the first of the year.
It's almost as if time is flying with how much Las Vegas is expanding.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean, there's a lot going on. I can't believe they just started on that, it's called the Bright Link, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
The train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's going all the way out to what, like Death Valley or something like that?
Yep.
Imagine how much more money that's going to bring to the Las Vegas Valley.
Making it that much easier to come here on a weekend.
Yeah.
And open up Las Vegas to even more people to probably move here, which is what they're already doing. So.
And I'm sure guys that live here and they could possibly come out here and work and buy a second home and say, hey, you know what, this is actually my primary residence now, but still have the home out there.
Yep.
But I know they're just going to stop at a Death Valley for now, but do you think they're going to take it all the way down to like Barstool or something like that?
I would think so, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with everything, it's just always going to be expanding. You might even see the opposite of what you just said. You could see I have I'm going to buy a primary residence in Vegas and commute to California. Don't want to live there because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Work my job, get back on the train, come back to Vegas.
So how's everything going with your business, man?
Everything's going really good right now. We started off 2024 really hot. I was just telling York, I had probably about 5 listings last month, and I'm only down to 1 now. We're under contract.
Wow.
So people are buying, people are selling. It's looking good. I think a lot of it is charged with the good news that we're getting about interest rates. I think probably the last time I was here, we were a little nervous about them.
Yeah.
I know they didn't really perform very well this week or last week, but I think the overall sense is that they're still going to be coming down. And I think just that good news is starting to move people in the right direction.
It's kind of fascinating how psychological, right, the real estate market is. You know, you got Jerome Powell, you know, he's coming out, he's softening everything like, hey, we're considering dropping, you know, interest rates.
Right.
But a lot of people don't realize it's not like they're going to drop rates down to 3%.
Right, no.
If that happened, I mean, this market would blow up.
Oh
but,
my gosh, yeah.
you know, if they drop it, you know, of a quarter of a point, let's just say the swing is only about 1/8 of a point on the market sector, right? Or on the mortgage side. So they're really not big swings.
Nope.
But psychologically, people are like, yo, I want to see what's going to happen. You know, I can get a good interest rate. But I think people really need to understand that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, you know, from my perspective of the market, it's weird. It's like I felt like I had a lot of buyers come in, get approved, but a lot of them
want to sit on the sidelines. I feel like the market is moving, but it's a stagnant market for me, which means that inventory is low, but then you only have so many buyers just to absorb that inventory, and that's it. Which, if we look back, 3-4 years ago, my production level was like 3 times as what it is today.
Right.
But I'm still in a good position where I'm blessed.
Right.
But I'm just like, wait, I'm not closing 150 transactions. Right. Last year, I think we only did like 130. The year before, it was like 168. So things are like slowing in that aspect of things as far as making money. But we still have buyers, which is kind of fascinating. Like, and the buyers I have that are having challenges are around, the 400 or 500 range. But the crazy thing about it is anything above like 1.5 to 2 million for me, it seems like it's going like that, especially if they're like rehabbed.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It is like this weird hybrid market, if you want to call it that. Because a few just weeks ago, I found myself in multiple counteroffer situations. So I feel like there are, and I don't know, this may or may not be true, but when this boom starts, I don't know if we want to call it a boom, but when things really start rolling, I feel like it's going to start with the pockets that are the most desirable. I'm a Henderson guy. I live out in Henderson. Green Valley Ranch is such a slam dunk. People love Green Valley Ranch. You're close to the casino, the district, lots of great homes out there. And that's where I found myself in these multiple counter situations. But then you move out, maybe if you go a little more east and a little more north, you're fine. You're like, oh, hey, any offers? No, nothing. Please send me something, And then you see the same thing, obviously in Summerlin. Summerlin's just always on fire, So I feel like what'll happen is it starts in those areas. Those start to get absorbed up. Buyers then say, well, let me try the Southwest. Not that there's anything wrong with the Southwest, but let me expand my search. Maybe let me go up to North Vegas. Let me go up to the Northwest corner. So the popular areas get soaked up first, and then we start to see the real expansion.
And I've noticed that because if you go back and you look at every single zip code, and this is completely true what you say, like Summerlin, right? Certain zip codes will move a lot quicker.
Yep.
Until the absorption rate is very low, then what happens is the price keeps going up.
Yep.
And once that price gets to a certain point, what happens is the buyer starts to realize, I can't really buy anything at the price point I'm at, but I can actually buy the exact same house, like the Southwest.
Yep.
It's centrally located. You got the 15 to 215, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of things going on out there. I just saved $100,000. I'll go there until that area gets absorbed as well, and price goes up, and it kind of moves from like one zip code to another zip code, which is kind of fascinating.
It is. It is really interesting to see that. And I kind of liken it. I always just say like, it's like walking the dog to me. It's like, okay, I know we wanted this area. Yeah. Let's get out there. Let's look. Let's kind of take our licks a little bit of like, we lost out on this one. Oh, they accepted a cash offer. They have 10 other offers. They get a little exhausted of that. Hey guys, are you willing to check out a different area a little bit? I don't want to overextend on the price point, but we could go 10 minutes south or north. You're somewhat still in that area, and you get, the good bang for your buck.
So the listings that you have taken on and you have sold, what were the reasons why sellers are selling?
So I have one lady right now. They're just moving to Florida, and they are buying a boat, which I thought was a cool thing. Yeah, they're like, we're out of here.
Like a sailboat?
Yeah, like we're going to go live on a boat.
That's pretty, like, okay. That's pretty dope.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I actually lived on a sailboat once for about like 2 years, and it was a lot of maintenance. This is when I was younger. Yeah. My parents were in the military in Hawaii.
Oh, there you go.
And I remember like every 2 months, my dad was always like, get your ass in the water and scrub the boat. So basically you have like these like particles or like, I'm not too sure what they're called. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I would literally have to dive down.
To hold your breath?
Yes. And I was scared.
I bet.
Because I was scared of like sharks, eels.
Sure.
And I literally had to scrape the boat. And it literally took like 6 hours. It was like the craziest thing ever. But the lifestyle was kind of cool, but there was a lot of maintenance on it.
I can only imagine. But look at what all that barnacle scrubbing did for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here now.
Successful real estate agent. Right. And then I think obviously you have your people that I'm looking to downsize, or I actually have a couple that it was like, we don't need this house anymore. We have a house somewhere else or in town or out of town, and we've had it for a while. It was an investment. It was a renter, and we're done with it now. So kind of just a mixed bag, you know, and I think that's probably a question you get all the time from a buyer, you know, why are they selling? And it's like, it's not because the house is falling into the middle of the earth. It's just because life happens and they're either done with it, downsizing, upsizing, whatever it may be. So
yeah, and the reason why I bring this up is because majority of the homes that have a mortgage, they have such a great interest rate. Very a lot of them, including myself, it is so hard to step away.
Yeah.
But the problem here in Las Vegas, the way that these houses are designed, it becomes a trend. And what happens is the trend keeps moving. Like if you went back 5 years ago, you looked at my home, you're like, yo, this is a pretty dope home. Now I look at it, I'm just like, yo, it's just a house that I live in. But, you know, my mortgage is only like $930 a month with a interest rate of, you know, 3.2%. That is so hard to get rid of. So now it's like I'm literally stuck. And there's tons of people out there in the same situation. But also they do want to move because I'm constantly looking at homes for myself.
You're always trying to upgrade your life, right? Yeah.
But then I realized, you know, by looking at the economy, what's going on, I feel like we're kind of in a stagnant market. And I feel like I'm stuck in it too as well. We're like, okay, do I go heavy on cash, hold on to cash? Don't really buy a home. Should I buy a home? But sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to buy this home because this is what I want. So I kind of ponder between both sides. I mean, what do you see on the buying side?
Yeah, no, I certainly see that. I think right now there are a few people that are kind of seeing into the future because you just mentioned, and I say the same thing, the buyers that are on the sidelines. And most buyers are seeing, okay, rates are supposed to come down. But right now they're not there yet. Okay, well, what are the benefits of buying right now? Chances are you could get some closing costs covered, which is great. You use that to buy down your rate possibly. Requests for repairs are probably going to get handled a little more than they certainly did last time. You don't have to waive your appraisal or anything like that. So there's a lot of good things. Less competition, you know, unless you find yourself in one of those pockets that we just mentioned. So I think there's people that are like, you know what? I heard about the bloodbath that was going on in 2021. People waiving appraisals, paying 50 grand over, you know, having to give up their firstborn to get their offer accepted. I'll take my licks right now. Hopefully I can refinance down the line. But I got the house I wanted. I didn't have to fight for it. And I got a lot of other benefits to it. So I think some buyers are seeing that. Of course, you're always going to have the other buyers that they come from California. They don't care what's going on. They're just like, I just sold my 2-bedroom condo in San Diego for $3 million. Like,
and I think that's helping our economy out here because I'm going to honestly say like 95% of my transactions are buyers from out of state because they still look at our home price. You know, median price point today is like, I think like $455. And they're like, dude, that's nothing. I could just sell my home, come out here, save 10% in state income tax.
Of course.
And I could pay cash on this home. Not only that, you know, the cost of living here is still cheaper than any other place today, right? But 100%. For me, I've been out here for 20 years now. And I look at it when I first moved out here, I'm like, okay, back then homes were like expensive. Like you could buy a home, you know, a 4-bedroom home for like $125,000, and that was a lot of money for me, right? But now it's like $455,000. I'm like, yo, the numbers just don't make sense as an investor. Like, I'm kind of I'm stuck. Right. And I don't know, should I hold on to the money or should I just be buying more investment properties? And again, that's another situation that people are same situation, right?
And I think you have some people that, and I've been here for 20 years too. That's funny that you said that. But you have the people that have seen the growth, and it almost works against you because you're like, shit, this house was, you know, 150 only. It felt like not long ago, and now it's like you're like you get gun shy. You're like, no, I don't want to, but it's never going to be 150 again. You know,
and I've made multiple mistakes, and I tell all my buyers this, like, or all my investors. There was a home across the street where I knew it was coming up on the market. I paid $195 for my home, and this was like, you know, 2009. It was a bank-owned property. The one across the street was like about 300 square feet smaller than mine. I got wind it's coming on the market, so I contacted the agent. I said, look, let me buy this thing for $265. They came back and said, hey, we'll sell it to you for $265. And this is like literally when the pandemic hit, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to pull the trigger. We're going back and forth. And I literally lost this deal because he came back, right? He was a CPA, want to get rid of this asset and move his money on. And he said, why don't you pay for the property transfer tax? And the property transfer tax, it was about $1,600. I didn't pay for it. Like, I was dead on the numbers. Like, I'm not paying for it like this.
Of it,
So I'm like, because I was doing the math, I'm like, I got to get it at this price.
Right.
And today, the home is worth $450,000, and every time I pull out of my freaking garage, I look at it, and I always complain to my wife, I should have just bought this home.
Yep.
I was nickeling and diming myself.
Yep.
I should have looked at the growth. The problem is that I've been here so long.
Yep.
I have a one-track mindset looking at the past versus looking at the future. And when I say look at the future of Las Vegas, look at the growth. Look at what's coming out here. Look at what the city's doing. And I think that's mostly important, that people have to analyze, you know, what's going on with the city. What's the unemployment rate here, right? Take a look at the jobs. What is the opportunity, right? What are the incentives for corporate companies to move out here? And if you notice, there is a lot of things taking place in Las Vegas, which is kind of fascinating to me.
Almost every day there's something.
Yes, and that's the reason why you have to kind of like forecast and take a look at these things, because you may be buying at fair market value, but if your strategy is, hey, I'm going to live in this property, right? And this is something I'm going to stay and weather the storm, then you're okay. But if you're a guy like me, just kind of like, I'm not too sure if I'm going to buy, I don't know what I want to do, maybe you're not the right buyer for this place.
So one of the things I always say to my investor clients is, hey, listen, as long as we're not day trading houses here, we're usually going to make out just fine. You know, if we're in this for 5-10 years, we're going to be fine. And I mentioned the same things you just mentioned, all the things coming to Vegas, like even before, hey, the Raiders are coming here. Now, obviously the A's are possibly coming here. NBA will probably be here soon. And then you bring up all the great points too. I mean, I can't even go another day. Like if they build another Amazon shipping building, it's just like it's everywhere. I live over near Cadence, and there's like 6 that are being put up right now. So yeah, no, all fair points. And it's tough to kind of just say, hey, just, you know, buy and hold and it'll work out. But usually it does, right? I mean, it's just like, look at the growth. I bought my house with my wife in 2013, a brand new construction home for $157,000.
Oh my God! Like, I wish we had those days again.
I wish I had a bunch of money. I would have bought up the whole block for crying out loud, you know. But, and like I said, we're just never going to see that again. It's never going to get that low again. So
now, you know, we're talking all about this, and you know, I do get first-time home buyers, right? And with the first-time home buyers, you really got to really hold their hand. Educate them through the process.
100%.
And I think one of the topics that, you know, we haven't talked about, or I haven't talked about for some time, is, you know, trying to find the right agent, because I probably honestly get about 8 to 15 calls a year about how they've been watching me on YouTube for years, but they felt like I was too busy, which is, guys, I'm never busy for you guys, okay? We have a team, staff in place. We run a system. We have it all in place. Okay. Now,
success can work against you sometimes. It can.
So the thing about it is, the buyers, they have to be with somebody that really knows what they're doing. But also, I want to talk about, like, you know, really like picking the right agent, because when I first started, right, I didn't know nothing. Right. I just knew how construction worked because I come from a background of construction.
There you go.
However, I didn't really understand the process. And there was times where I was working with a client, they bounced out and they worked with another seasoned agent because they understand the process. Right. And I think the most important part is, you know, when you are buying a home, it's very important to pick the right agent.
Yes.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I guess the first thing I'd always say is, you know, a lot of people always focus on, oh, well, when I'm selling my home, I'm going to interview some agents. You can do the same thing when you're buying. Absolutely. People usually don't do that. You know, they either just pull up a website, or I don't know, this person, this guy or gal looks great. Okay, we'll just give them a call and just go with it. Or obviously the recommendations are always great. Oh, well, my uncle used this guy or gal. Okay, that's cool too. But it doesn't mean that you have to use that person. I think it's always great. Go vet out the person. Go interview people. Because I think people just want to work with good people too. A lot of us agents can do the same exact thing. We can go out and get you the best deal on a house. But you got to remember, you're going to be spending like the next 30 to 90 days with this person. Like, you better be able to get along with them and things like that. So I think, number one, I would say interview your buyer agent. You can do it. It's not a bad deal. And then I think obviously there's always the, do you go with the experienced agent? Do you go with someone new? And I see both pros and cons to that. And when we talked about this before we went on air, if you give me that new agent, obviously I'm like, do you know what you're doing? The first thing I'd say is, hey, do you have a team behind you, or is it just you? If it was just you and you were brand new out of school, I would be a little nervous, because I'm going to be honest with you, school doesn't teach you everything that they should when you first come out. But you brought up a great point. Show me an agent that maybe has support behind them and is hungry, and this is the only job I have to make this work. I love that, because I could show you on the opposite side of it, a very experienced agent who is going to see you as, oh, it's a dime a dozen. I closed 1,000 deals last year. You're just another buyer. And I'm not saying that's every experienced agent. I'm not saying that, but there certainly are some out there that it's like, you're just another buyer. What's your price point? 400? Okay. And maybe, I'll meet you for the first time, but I'm going to hand you off to another agent. And it's like, oh, all right. And hey, if I call you or I text you, do I get you? Oh, well, no, I have an assistant and she'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Well, if that's not what you're looking for, if you need, like you just said, constant hand holding, maybe you go with that new agent who will pick up as soon as the phone rings. Like, hey, how's it going? What can I do for you?
And I think this is also important. Like, if you're a brand new agent that is watching this, I think it's also important to disclose to the client, like, hey, I've only done 2 transactions. However, I have a full, staff, a team in place, right?
Yep.
If I don't know the answer to your question, right, I know where to go get
I'm going to find out. Yep.
Okay.
And I train up a whole bunch of agents on my team. We have about 80 agents, and I love doing it. And that's exactly what I say. Just flip it to a positive, especially on the listing side. I don't want to get too off topic, but when like a client's like, well, how many listings do you have? I say, stare them right in the face and go, none. And guess how much time I can commit to yours? 100%. Oh, shit. Okay. I didn't really expect you to say that. You have no listings? Nope. This is going to be my first one, and I really don't want to mess it up. And I have a team of agents that are, let's just call it what it is, are financially motivated to see me succeed, and they're going to help me. So you kind of get that 2 for 1, if you will.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I do want to say this. It's probably not going to work on your first listing if you had the opportunity to meet up with somebody that had a $10 million home.
Sure.
Versus an experienced agent that
Very
has already
difficult.
closed a bunch.
You have quite an uphill battle.
The only thing that you can do is charm the shit out of that person. Let them know how much drive you have and say, hey, you're about to change my life.
That's it.
But I'm going to give it everything I got.
Yes. You would have an uphill battle in that scenario.
Okay.
Maybe you don't start with a $10 million.
You wouldn't be surprised of how many new agents out there actually have the opportunity because they are definitely well connected.
Yeah. Oh, that can work too. Yeah.
But let's talk all the negative things about hiring a brand new agent.
Yeah.
And we're going to go into the positives, okay?
Sure.
So give me a couple things why you wouldn't hire a brand new agent.
Why I wouldn't? Okay. Probably, again, if you're a brand new agent and you're not on a team, I really do have to separate them, because I work with brand new agents all the time, and as a team lead, I have their back. I'm not going to let them fall. Like, I'm their parachute. So if you're a brand new agent, though, and you're not on a team, and I really do recommend joining a team. You don't have to join my team. You can join any team. But join a team, because so much good comes from it. But if you're not on a team, and let's just say I was interviewing you, I would say, like, well, how is your communication? Or do you have a broker that you could go to get advice, But, and I'm not trying to knock the schools out there, the realty schools, but they just don't prepare you. I mean, they don't really even prepare you how to write an offer. And that's what we're going to be doing if I'm going to be buying a home.
Yeah, I think the schools are really there just to teach you the laws. So that way, if you fuck up, we're going to sue you and your brokerage.
Exactly.
That's all it really is.
Yeah.
Because that's that side. But when you come into the marketplace, now you're really running a business, right?
Yeah.
Because you're an independent contractor.
Exactly. So the first thing I would just general knowledge of the paperwork would probably be lacking with a brand new agent.
Yeah.
Obviously then knowledge of the market, hey, what is going on? Are people getting if I'm the buyer, are people getting closing costs right now, or requests for repairs? Because my neighbor bought their house back in 2021. He told me I have to waive appraisals now. Is that going on?
Yeah.
Like, you got to know the answers to that. You got to know when people are like, hey, well, what's going on? Do I need to go over list price, or can I get closing costs? Things like that. You got to know those basic answers. And then obviously, I'm just trying to think. Those would probably be the big things. Really, just do you know the paperwork? Do you know what's going on in the market? And then I guess you could put some emphasis on like relationships out there, because obviously if I'm a buyer's agent and I know the listing agent, that can help.
Okay.
You know, so knowing the market, knowing other agents and things like that can help kind of give you a leg up.
So let's talk about the positive things.
Yeah.
Number one, it's if you find a brand new agent. Number one, as long as he discloses to I'm brand new.
Yep.
Okay, that's a plus for me.
Yep.
But if I know you are a go-getter,
That's it.
and I'm a consumer that started from ground zero and built my business, I know exactly where that person is coming from.
Yep.
And if that consumer sees himself in that agent,
Yeah.
I guarantee they will always get the
For
business.
sure. No, for sure. And I had that happen to me when I was a new agent. I used to talk myself out of like deals or possible clients. And I used to work in the industry at one of the day clubs, and you know, there's like 5 other agents that are working there. And I was like, well, you know, he's going to probably use her and she'll use him. And I probably shouldn't even prospect my old coworkers. And one of them just called me out of the blue. It was like, hey, James, I'm thinking about buying. And I was like, okay, yeah.
What do I do?
I could take you out. And I was like fumbling through it. And I was kind of like, wow, why is he using me? Like, I thought he was friends with all these other people and I don't even work there anymore. And sure enough, we closed the deal, we get it. And I was like, I just got to ask you, like, why'd you pick me? I'm so appreciative. Why'd you pick me? He goes, you were new. I want to help you out, man. Like,
That's dope.
I wanted to throw you a deal. Like, we're friends, right? Like, I mean, he came to my wedding. Like, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, no. So one of the things I'll always say to a new agent is, no one's off limits, or, you know, don't ever think, oh, they'll never use me. They might know, everyone knows other agents, you know, but maybe they're too good of friends with them and they don't want to mix like, oh no, that's like my best friend, I don't want a deal to go south and affect that. But then you also never know, like, well, where's their relationship now? Yeah, they were friends 3 years ago. Do they still talk to each other?
Yeah.
You know, so never talk yourself out of business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to move on to seasoned agents, right?
Yeah.
Tell me all the negative things about, you know, working with a top dog.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was kind of what I touched on before. And, you know, it's, do you get them after you first meet them? You know, because I think we've all heard the stories of like, oh, yeah, we signed the listing agreement, and then I never saw my agent again. You know, like, I tried to call him, tried to text him, tried to email him, doesn't get back to me, or I have to deal with his assistant, or he just passed me off to another agent, he or she just passed me off to another agent. I know I've really built my business on communication, over communication. When you text, when you call, you get me. You don't get an assistant. You don't get another agent. You'll get me directly. I sold you a bill of goods of like, I'm going to be here to represent you in either buying or selling, and you're going to get me full time. That would be the one drawback of using, say, a mega agent. I can't really think of too many other ones, because they're going to have the connections. They're going to know the business inside out. They might have a really successful YouTube channel with 200,000 subscribers. But I don't know. Can you think of other drawbacks of?
I think by working with a seasoned agent, sometimes it could literally get to their head.
Sure.
Right. And I've seen this with like lenders too as well. You don't really put too much work into it. So like what I've noticed is this, depending on your price point as a consumer, right?
Very, very important. Yeah.
If you're only buying a $300,000 home and I'm a top dog, I got a team going, that's $9,000, let's just say.
Yep.
Okay. I got to pay for the whole staff.
Sure.
Chances of me jumping in the car
Right.
to go show you around is probably going to be slim, especially if you're doing volume.
Of course.
You probably already built a system in place, and then you may say, hey, you know what? You're going to work with this agent, which is fine. The system runs really good.
Right.
You still get the service, but then you're probably not working with that agent.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But now let's just say if you are a $10 million buyer, I guarantee you're working with that agent.
100%.
Right?
Jumping in the car.
So those are the negatives to it.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Also, like you said, with the communication, you may not be talking to them directly. They may only have a system in place like, hey, we're only working from 9 to 5 and that's it.
Right.
You can leave a message and then you can call us back.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But now I want to go into like more of the positive things of working with a really seasoned agent.
Yeah. I mean, it really just, when it comes down to the negotiation parts, they're just going to out negotiate that other agent in 99 times out of 100. You've seen it before. And it's like new agents, they just stick out like a sore thumb. Like the new license number is 20. And so it's like when you see like a 20 now, it's just like, oh, this person's brand new. You're almost like licking your chops.
And one thing I've realized is, and when I have a conversation, I'm always probing the listing agent or the buyer's agent. I already know if these guys are new. Matter of fact, the first thing I do is I look at the contract. I already know how, if the contractor's written like, damn, I'm dealing with this shit.
Yep.
Right? And I already know this is going to be something I'm going to have to hold their hand.
100%.
But if they're cool, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to help you out. We'll do this together. So it's not like whatever.
We're cooperating.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But on my side, I know how to leverage, ask questions, and it allows me to get more money for my client or a lower price point for my client.
100%.
And you can just tell by having a conversation. But as a seasoned agent, you know the market, what's going on. You know what his customary practice is.
That's right.
What you should be asking for, how to write a clean offer. If you're a buyer, I'm representing you. I can still win a bid at a lower price point, but my offer was so clean.
Yep.
Not only that, I've been in the business for so long. That agent probably I'm working with, right? They probably know who I am, and we've already probably done business before. Transaction went very smooth on both parties, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna accept this offer."
Exactly.
It's a lot easier of a transaction.
And I think too, an experienced agent, one of the things that I think is so underrated is when you're representing the buyer and you make that initial phone call to the listing agent and how that phone call goes, because you know how that phone call is like, am I gonna want to work with this person? And if you're an experienced agent and you can kind of schmooze them over, hey, how you doing, Chakits? Like, how's it, everything? Man, dude, that listing was beautiful. See your videos all the time. Like, okay, cool. Like, all right, you're a cool guy. I'm a cool guy. Let's work together. You know that if you end up in a multiple offer situation, you might say to your client, hey, listen, these are going to speak for themselves. I'm just going to mention this agent was kind of a dick on the phone. This agent was kind of cool. They might be more flexible and have, be able to get this thing done versus someone else. And then obviously, if we're going to continue to talk about experienced agents, just the marketing aspect of everything. I mean, obviously what you have going on here is almost unmatched. It's crazy. But, already knowing like, oh, hey, we're going to bring a photographer, but I'm also bringing my videographer. We're going to get videos knocked out, everything like that on the listing side, obviously. Experienced agents are going to have the leg up on that.
And also, I want all the new agents to understand like what you see here in this office and what's going on. Right? This stuff is not cheap.
Nope.
But it's not like I went out and I bought this stuff. I literally started from scratch with $0, knocking on doors, right? Doing a bunch of open houses and constantly scale the business.
That's it.
And I don't want to mislead any other agents out there because it's not like that.
No, it's
now, there are successful people where they actually come in with the money and they could throw money at it. That's a whole different ballgame. But majority of the real estate agents, they don't really have any money.
Nope. Oh, definitely not. Like I said, I work with new agents all the time. I mean, they get taken to the woodshed with LVR as, $1,600 to get, to be a realtor and get signed in, sworn in. And it's tough. But that's one of the things I try to teach them is what is cheap and effective marketing. And we talk about things like get out to these model homes. You have this, you have a cell phone, you're good to go. Go buy a $20 microphone on Amazon. Not to crap on these very expensive microphones. But like if you're out there, just go do some model home tours. Go do it, and I try to take the scariness out of I don't want to be in a video. You don't have to. Go stand in the corner. You click this, stop, go to the next corner, click this, pan around. You're good to go. Throw it in CapCut, and you have a 59-second video that you can throw on Instagram Reels.
All right, Jay. So let's do this. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
But when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about that so that way we can help some of the new agents out.
I would love to.
So, guys, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Does your house look like and have you been considering remodeling your home for some time now? Well, if you love real estate like I do and appreciate the attention to detail in the craftsmanship required to build a remodel or a gorgeous home, then I got the perfect company for you. Guys, I highly recommend Design Zone Remodeling. They are a stellar company that will turn your outdated home into your own personal sanctuary. They specialize in bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels, and full house remodels. Design Zone Remodeling has a reputation for excellent workmanship, competitive fees, and being able to offer a wide range of services and deliver the outstanding results to their clients. I use Design Zone Remodeling on my personal properties. Give Design Zone Remodeling a call today at 725-223-0871 or visit their website at designzoneremodeling.com to request a free consultation.
Attention contractors, remodelers, and homeowners. Is your renovation becoming a pain in the glass? Here at Glass Vegas, we take care of all of your glass needs, from a broken window to custom shower doors, mirrors, wine enclosures, storefronts, railings, and much more. We can even help you with new or replacement thermally broken windows. We're a full-service, woman-owned glass company that provides unparalleled workmanship, excellent communication, and great customer service. Glass Vegas. We do glass with class.
And projects backed by our 20 years of experience. Whether it's a closet, pantry, garage storage, floor coatings, entertainment center, laundry room, home office, custom bookcases, and window coverings, Closets Las Vegas will give you the look and feel you want in your home. Please contact me, Pat, for your free consultation, and don't forget to ask about 0% financing for 18 months. I look forward to working with you.
Attention.
Hey, what's up everybody? Did you know that 96,000 people move to Las Vegas every single year? The question is why? Well, due to the Fed's interest rate hikes have increased the cost of living for many Americans across the country. Americans are now looking to relocate to Las Vegas because of no state income tax, low unemployment, low cost of living, and affordability for housing. We're also the entertainment capital of the world. So if you are thinking about relocating to Las Vegas, we would like to offer you a free Southern Nevada market report and a relocation guide. All you have to do is click on that link below to claim yours today.
All right, guys, welcome back to the LV Home Experts podcast. So I'm here today with my special guest, James Sharp with Realty One. And real quick, I just want to say this. It says here that from Arizona Boy, it says, Chakits looks high again. Matter of fact, no, I don't smoke weed and I don't condone that shit. So knock that shit off. I don't play that, okay? The Real Deal says, what's going on, Chakits? What's up? I appreciate you. Also, if you guys have any questions, drop a comment. But I want to go back to with some brand new agents because you also sell real estate and also a coach. What's the title at Realty One?
Director of Team Development for the Williams Mitchell Group.
Damn,
so,
that sounds hard.
I came up with that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
That sounds good.
It took me a lot of time. Chat GPT helped me out. No, yeah.
So you help a lot of agents.
I do, and I found I love selling houses. I don't think anything that's never going to change.
Yeah.
But helping a new agent through the waters, if you will, of getting started is really just a huge benefit to just everything. I found purpose in that, and I really love that. Just coaching them up. Like, I guess I always just say I want to cut down the time between when you get your license and your first deal. That's what I want to do. I want to bridge that gap. And like I was saying, certainly on my team, I'm kind of more of the social media guy. The three other team leads are more experienced agents that really are on that referral business. So teaching them the ins and outs of social media, getting your Instagram started, getting Facebook going, TikTok, all those things. Because like I said before, when you're a new agent, you don't have a whole bunch of money coming into this. Very rarely is it like, oh yeah, no, I got a ton of money in the bank. Let's throw, a 10 grand marketing plan. Like, no, that usually doesn't happen. So I say to them, hey, listen, if you have a phone, which you do, we can get you rolling on this right away. You know, so one of the things I always harp on is just go to these model homes, man. It's like a golden goose. They're already designed nice. They look great. Hell, the agent that's representing the builder needs you to come and market for them. So it's like, and then, they go, oh, well, I can't do video. You don't even need to be in them. You don't need to be in them. Just go stand, pan, left, right, click, left, right, click, throw it in CapCut, and you got your 60-second reel that will start to drum up business. But I always tell them too, don't put the price point and don't put where it is. Because if you give that away, you just gave away the whole farm. They don't need you. The consumer, the client doesn't need you. They'll just go, oh, it's, D.R. Horton and Inspirata. I'll just go look it up myself and I'll just go walk in there. So you don't put that, tease them a little bit. You kind of throw your fishing rod out and then here comes the DM. Oh, James, where is that? Oh, it's in Inspirata. Are you looking? Yeah. Okay. You want to go take a look? Let's go.
So it sounds like what you're saying is short form videos is the way to go.
Well, I mean, yeah. And again, I do both. I just baby steps, right? I'm like, I don't expect you to launch a YouTube channel and start pumping out 10-minute plus videos.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take the scariness out of video because I don't know about you, and I would love your opinion. I don't know if there's a new agent now, people that are getting their license now in the next 5 years. I don't know if they're going to be able to close as many deals as they like without any social media presence.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably a dying breed, right? I mean, it's going to get tougher and tougher. We're all on our phones. We're all on our laptops.
Yeah.
That's how we ingest information. So what is your take on that? Do you see an agent in the next 5 years just not doing any social media and still killing it? I mean,
I think what's happening right now is social media is getting so absorbed with a bunch of real estate agents, right?
Yeah.
And I see all the videos are all the same. And what happens is it starts to become stagnant. And then you're going to have to reposition, and you always have to create yourself some way, somehow. Like you literally have to stand out from the crowd.
Yep.
But I see more and more agents coming in. You know, what's going to happen is it's going to get harder as well. So you have all the agents that don't do it. Right, they're the seasoned agents. They're the agents that are like the old school agents. I would say
referral based.
Yeah.
Probably,
Now, next thing you know, we have a whole new generation of real estate agents. Those guys that are doing the social media, they're the next wave.
Yeah.
But pretty soon that will also get absorbed.
Yep.
So you always have to kind of like be ahead of the curve. What is the next thing?
Yeah.
So I feel like we still have enough room for a bunch of agents to do it, but eventually it will get absorbed.
Yeah. And then I guess, the bottom line is it always just comes down to relationships.
Yeah.
Like you could make a whole bunch of videos and just be super successful in that. But then if you don't have a good attitude, good personality, and people don't want to work with you, I mean, you can make all the videos in the world, because eventually your business will just run out. You won't get any repeat business. You'll start to have people be like, oh yeah, no, he wasn't really as advertised in his videos, So it just comes down to that, treating people right, treating clients right, and getting that repeat business.
So how many videos should a brand new agent be doing?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And what platforms should they be using?
So again, if we want to just start small, let's just say 60-second reels. I like to maximize my time because I still do this, and I like getting out there with my wife, and we go knock them out together. But let's just say you're at a model home, and there's 4 models. Okay, we'll make 4 60-second reels for them, and then you can just easily post those the same video to Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Yeah.
So at least you're getting a bang for your buck.
Yeah.
That's where I would start with those 3.
But the thing about it is you post the same video, but what I've realized, each platform is a different demographics, right? It's all different styles. Like TikTok is like very quick. The demographic age is like, 24 or lower, right? Instagram, it's between like Facebook and also LinkedIn, but the videos also have to be creative. So it's kind of hard.
It is. No, it's difficult. And I guess what I'm just doing is casting as wide of a net as I can, because not everyone's on Instagram. That's on Facebook and things like that. So I'm just saying, try to get it out to your sphere, which any way you can, or obviously go find, I feel like TikTok is like you find new people that you never knew that you might get. I feel like you might get a more random client through TikTok than say Instagram, Instagram probably too, but I think Facebook is more like your sphere, the people that you know.
So for the short format, how many of these should you be doing a day?
To be honest with you, I mean, what I would recommend to a new agent, because you have so much else going on, and I wouldn't put all your eggs in this basket, but I would say pick a day a week, like I do. And I'm not trying to say what I do is law by any means, but I do see the benefit of constantly reminding your sphere that you're out there and doing things, and then constantly prospecting through these videos. So I would just pick a day, knock out, if you go to Inspirata, which is, not far away from where we're sitting right now, you could shoot content for 8 hours there with how many model homes they have and things like that. So I would just, set time in your schedule and just say, hey, from this 4-hour block or whatever you want to do, I'm going to go crank out as many videos as I can. And then I think there's just a natural progression where you don't just do the very simple, click, pan, okay, good. You start to get comfortable. And now maybe you're doing an intro. And now maybe you're doing an outro. And the people start to get to know you a little bit more. Because there's going to be someone out there that relates to you. That's going to be like, oh, I like that girl. I like that guy. That's someone that I want to work with. And then you start to get into more of like, hey, let me tell you about the new home construction process. Let me tell you about the incentives that they have going on here. And so then there's just this natural progression where you get more comfortable, and it just comes with learning more information.
Yeah.
So,
and is this something that you do consistently, or?
Yeah, I do. I have gotten to the point where I've said to myself, okay, I need to schedule this because this is important. I'm slowly creeping up on you with my YouTube subscribers. I'm at 124 now, just 124, not 124,000. So I'm coming for you.
Okay.
Okay. So watch out.
But it's not about the subscribers, honestly.
Yeah.
The subscribers, all that it is just the credibility when they look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, I would rather have 10,000 people,
Yeah.
but 10,000 buyers,
Yeah.
versus over 250,000 followers. Honestly,
It is cool though. I think it's cool.
That's all it's used for.
Okay.
Okay. But again, if you can provide that value content,
Yep.
from short form to long form,
Yep.
but then you got to build a brand. And what is your brand?
Yeah.
So for all the new agents out there, so for me is I like to do educational videos for how to build a brand new home, right? And the materials and the products and the things that you have to look out for. But it doesn't stop there.
Right.
Once we're in the contract, we literally walk you through the contract. After walking you through the contract, you understand the repercussions if you don't go through this deal, and the things that you have to look out for towards the build, right, or during the build.
Right.
Then when we go to the design studio, I know what your budget is, but we have to allocate a certain dollar amount to certain things for an add value for the resale, okay? And things what you can do to a home to make it more cost effective, not only that, energy efficient as well.
For sure.
Right? So these are the things that we provide, and this is what the offer is.
Yep.
And there's times where people watch my videos,
Yeah.
right? They go use somebody else. They come to find out this wasn't the right agent. And then what happens is they contact me back and they're like, yo, I'm under contract.
Can you come save
At that
the day?
point, there's nothing I can do for you. However, you can hire me off to the side, but we have a link for the consultation. It's $495 an hour, and I can help you out.
There you go.
And there's times that we do that, but the problem is that it just costs you more money.
There you go. Gotta love that. I
and
listed
that
my
makes me
house-
feel good.
Yeah, I listed my house with someone else. It's not going well. Can you answer all these questions for me? You brought up an interesting thing, though, the design center. And if this isn't too far off topic, do you think we are headed towards the death of the design center? Because you know
Yes.
as well as I
So
do.
it
the
really,
spec homes
yeah,
and-
it depended on the price point that you're at.
Of course,
and
yeah.
I'm starting to see this with a lot of builders now at the 600 and below.
Yep.
But there are some builders out there like KB Homes. They still let you spec it out. Tri-point, depending on which track. But if we start going like D.R. Horton, right? Obviously, they're not going to do it. Lennar's not going to do it.
Yep.
Now, Lennar allows you to
Richmond
do about
American.
like 5%. Now, Richmond and American, they will on
Yeah.
certain
On certain,
tracks.
yeah.
Okay, more of the higher price point. But again, what they're doing is spec build now,
Yep.
which means that if you want a certain lot, it doesn't mean you're going to get that lot.
Nope.
And also, depending on what's going to be built, it's already forecast. The reason why they're doing all that is because instead of them selling it to you now and you spec it out, 6 months down the road, the value may be a lot higher, but now they're locked in. They would rather wait about 90 days until completion, right? And
Yep.
what they do is they create this panic, like you're gonna about to miss something, right?
Yep.
You get on this
Scarcity.
list,
Yep.
you have a bunch of people on the list trying to get this nice shiny object,
Yep.
and you guys are fighting for the same thing, and now they're bidding the price up.
Yep.
I mean, even Toll Brothers is doing this, right? Where they're not doing the spec build, but what they're doing now is we're not going to release this lot, but the hype is there. But you got freaking 15 people on the same damn lot, and now it's like, go ahead and put in a blind bid, right?
Yep.
Pulte was even doing this, like, hey, this lot is released. Tell us what you would pay for it. What do you mean? What I would pay for it?
Wild.
Fair price,
Right.
What you're offering.
Yep.
But yeah, more of the 600 and below.
I see it, too.
They're just spec building.
Yep.
Now, spec building is great, but it may not have everything that you want.
No, that's the thing. And that's what I try to explain to my clients, though, where it's like, okay, well, the builder has a reputation that they want to uphold. So they're not going to put these ugly things in here. It's usually just, hey, white cabinets, dark cabinets, white countertop, But then what I try my best to do when I'm in there is I say, well, hey, listen, this isn't exactly what they want. Now, again, depending on what the market is, if they have people beating down the door and they're selling these things left and right, there really is no negotiation power. But I feel like if they didn't get to pick out everything that they want and they kind of have to settle, if you will, for certain, the negotiation power is there a little bit more.
Yes, it's true, but then also it's a catch-22. If there's a high demand,
Right.
they would rather go with somebody else. Because I had this situation with Century Homes where I had a property. I already knew when it was going to be released. I had a great relationship with the sales manager, the sales agent, and I already knew what my clients wanted. We already put down the deposit. We're just waiting on this reserve.
Yeah.
But I said, hey, do me a favor. Add the white cabinets. Add this. But there were certain things that they just didn't add. But my client was okay with it. But the price wasn't guaranteed the price. But we had the first deposit. We had the reserves. We had the option. So when it came up, price, it was $20,000 more. And I told my client, I said, look, I understand the price is more, but I think you should move forward. She decided, no, I don't want to move forward because where she came from, right, was Texas, and what they could have got in Texas was a lot cheaper. And I understand that, but you also have to say, hey, Mr. Buyer, you got to understand, you can't compare Texas to this market, right?
Yep.
And what happened was they sold it to somebody else.
Probably
And we
a
lost
day or
the
two
opportunity,
later.
right? Because, again, they created that FOMO, right? Next thing you know, we're back out in the marketplace. They ain't nothing compared to what she could have bought now.
Yep. Did
So
she
now-
end up paying that 20 grand somewhere else?
Yeah, for a home that she's like, oh, okay with. But,
Settled with,
I mean, it's just a learning lesson.
Yep.
So it's like, sometimes you do have to bite the bullet, but now there's sometimes where there's certain tracks where we can get in a standing inventory or, you know, I'm able to negotiate. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't know this. You can negotiate whatever you want.
You can.
It doesn't mean you're going to get it.
No. Closed mouths don't get fed, though.
Yes. Like, let me give you an example. Like, I work with one agent with Lennar, and he gets all our deals.
I bet she's the same guy I work with.
Who, Billy? Okay.
I know him.
Yeah, so Billy already knows, like, here comes fucking Chakits. I already know he's going to ask for a super discount. We do.
Yep.
And the reason why he does this for me is because he's getting paid. So the relationship is, okay, Chakits closed about 20 transactions with me last year. Not only that, I just referred another agent to him. Right? Agent just hit me up. Hey, man, who do you know over here at Lennar?
Yep.
Yo, contact my guy Billy. Make sure to drop my name.
That's it.
And it's not drop my name because I'm going to get something. It's drop my name because, yo, I'm bringing you the business. You better make sure you take care of us.
Treat them like you treat me.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, they're always going to go up to bat for you.
Yeah.
But he still represents the builder.
Right.
I represent my client.
Right. I think we just thought of another thing that an experienced agent knows that a non-experienced one does.
Okay. What was it?
I'm just saying, like, when you go to these new construction, you can negotiate.
Oh, yeah.
You can ask for things. You can ask for discount on price, design center credit, lot premium reduction. You can also negotiate your own commission.
Now, a lot of times that sales agent, they already know their market. They know their company, right? They know what the margins are. Sometimes they may just say no.
Yeah.
But technically, honestly, if you really wanted to push the issue, it's, write that shit up.
Right.
You don't really have a choice.
Right. Exactly.
Here's a proof of funds. You need to write it up.
Yep. Go present it.
Okay.
Yep.
But sometimes, you know, because I built a relationship, I'm not going to be a dick. I just kind of feel out where the agent is. But there's times where, like this, with Pulte Homes.
Yeah.
Right? I'm talking to the sales agent and say, I need a $20,000 discount. I got to make this deal happen because I'm barely making the margins work right now, but it's working, right? It's like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. I was like, just call the sales manager.
Right.
So I hear him on the phone with my clients. Hey, what's up, Tom? Blah, 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 right? I was like, yo, I know the sales agent, the sales manager. I fucking call the sales manager right up. And I said, yo, Tom, I'm sitting here. You're talking to your sales agent. I got my clients here. This is where I'm at.
Oh, man.
I need this deal.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
Right.
And he goes, I will only do this deal with you if you bring another person back to the track.
Oh, there you
I
go.
said, boom, got it locked up. That agent was like, yo, I can't believe this shit. But it's all relationship-based business. That's all it is.
That's what we've been saying. That's what we've been saying. And experienced agents have those relationships already set up. Not to say new agents can't get there, but just another benefit of using an experienced agent.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, going back, if you're a brand new agent, right?
Yeah.
If you do new homes, always work with that one sales agent.
True. Yep. And I tell them all the time, first of all, don't be afraid to walk in there. That rep needs you to walk in there so they can close out that community. But get chummy with them. Smooze them over a little bit. Hey, how's it going? Here's my business card. Put me on your email blast. Like, I want to know everything that's going on. Because when you develop those relationships, they'll make that extra phone call for you. If you're walk in there like you're on your high horse or you're a dick or something like that, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to bend over backwards for you. Not at all.
Now, we got a couple more minutes before we finish up. So I want to get back to the real estate market. I want to get your perspective of where do you see us heading for 2024? We got the elections.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a couple more Fed funds meeting. I think we got like 6 or something. I don't remember. But obviously, you know, they're talking about dropping pricing of interest rates. Where do you see, what's your thoughts? Okay, I mean, this is not set in stone.
No, of course
I want to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, and I don't have the crystal ball like I say to my clients all the time. I can just go based off of all the things that you just rambled off there. I do believe that interest rates are going to drop. It's just, like you said, election year. We've already just heard that they will be dropping. And I kind of see it as like this slippery slope or like a cascading where like you said, and I just love that metaphor of like everyone's on the sideline and they're waiting to kind of jump in the pool here. And I think it's eventually just going to get to the point where like interest rates start dropping and people are looking to their left and to their right and they're like, shit, I'm just going to jump in before this gets really crazy. So I don't think it's going to be this big rush, but I think we're going to just start to see this wave kind of build of like buyers entering the market. Sellers are like, oh, there's more buyers. Okay, maybe I'll list my house now because I could hopefully get a good price because the more buyers that enter, prices should go up because now it's more competitive. Interest rates are down. So I don't think it's going to be crazy like 2021 by any means, but I think it's certainly going to be better than it was last year.
Okay, so if you're a buyer, there will be an opportunity.
Yes, I definitely think so. I mean, there's opportunities out there right now, like I was talking about. Because again, if you're a buyer and you're waiting, and I've told this to my buyers, you need to understand certain things are going out the window if this really starts to pick up. And there are the things that I mentioned before, closing costs. Probably need to be, I'm already seeing pushback on closing costs. You used to write an offer, 10K in closing costs. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Like now it's like, we'll do 3,500. I'm like, damn, really? You don't even have any other offers? You know? Yeah. Well, you know, and so you're starting to see pushback on stuff like that. Again, you know, the requests for repairs, all the added benefits of being a buyer right now are going to start to slowly decline, you know? So you have to keep that in mind. Again, I don't think we're going to get to where we were in 2021 where you're paying 50 grand over, you know, the list price and things like that. But just be ready for that. Just know that when this starts to pick up and interest rates drop, other people, you're not the only one waiting on the sideline. Yeah. You know, everyone else is paying attention to what's going on too.
Okay. So now for all the new agents, just got their real estate license. Yeah. Want to get into like coaching, right? Sure. How do they get a hold of you?
Oh, I mean, certainly follow me on all my social media. You can text me and I answer my phone, 908-601-6881. But yeah, and I'm just happy to help agents, even if you don't go to my brokerage. Because I work with agents that have come from other brokerages where they're like, yeah, I wasn't on a team, and I was ready to write an offer on Monday, and I went into my broker and he was like, yeah, I have an opening on Thursday at 2:00. And it was like, what? Like, I need to write an offer right now. Like, if you're not getting that, just find a new team or reach out to me. Or there's plenty of great teams out there. I'm not saying my team is the best team out there or the only team out there or anything like that. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can learn from being on a really good team. I offer almost every home inspection I go to or photograph day or listing appointment, shadowing opportunity. I just need 2 or 3 of you come with me. I can't take the whole team. But shadowing is so huge. I don't know if you ever got the chance to shadow when you were, you know, young in this game, but that's where I learned everything, kind of just through osmosis, just listening and hearing. How did you answer the phone? How did you answer that question that the seller just threw at you? Shadowing is such a huge thing. Yeah, I mean, the opportunities are out there. It just sucks that there's such a high turnover in this industry because I feel like there's a lot of people that could have been really good at this, but just weren't put in the right environment or position.
Well, it's good for me. It gives me more money.
Yeah, that's true. Less competition.
Less competition.
But I want you to, the next time you're in a deal with that new agent, they know what they're doing, you know, and it makes it easier for you and your clients and for them and their clients, and we all make the money, you know. Okay. So
I think that next time we meet up, I think we need to do some sort of collaboration outside of a podcast.
Sure, let's do it.
I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll have a link in the description below to Jay. So if you guys are just learning and want to, you know, get into this marketplace and become that top real estate agent, I want you guys to reach on out to him.
Yeah, happy to talk to him.
Or if you're looking to buy a home, reach on out to him.
Sounds
but
good,
if you think I'm the top agent Call me. All right, guys. Until next week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas on the LV Home Experts podcast. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.